the big dog in the yard, wearing number 5, JYD 2.0, DeMarre Carroll. Your 2-time NBA All-Star from North Philly to the North City. Make some noise for number 7, Kyle Lowry. And your 2-time NBA All-Star coming straight out of Compton, number 10, DeMar DeRozan. Head coach of the Toronto Raptors is DC Dwayne Casey.
The final details for Dwayne Casey as we get set for Game 7 from the Air Canada Centre. For the Indiana Pacers, George Hill, Monte Ellis, Paul George, Miles Turner, and Jan Mahimi. For the Toronto Raptors, the second seed who earned the right to host this Game 7, it's Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan, DeMarre Carroll, Patrick Patterson, and Jonas Valanciunas. One game with so much on the line. A game with so many questions. A game that will more than likely provide the answers. For Casey, DeRozan, Lowry, Valanciunas, Ross, and Patterson, they have all been here before representing Toronto, representing Canada, the Raptors. Just 2 years ago, Lowry had the game in his hands on this very floor. Will that experience provide a platform that leads to this franchise's first ever victory of a best-of-7 series? Or will that memory overcome them? The time has come. It's Game 7 on their home floor. The energy, you can feel it.
It's incredible in here. It is absolutely incredible.
Our national anthem gave you chills.
Goosebumps all over.
Will tonight be the night for Toronto? Raptors win the opening tip. Patterson looks on the inside. Carroll now feeds it into the post. Not showing a double. Carroll the 3, and it doesn't go. And a good clean look as George climbs in and grabs a rebound.
Good pass out by Jonas Valanciunas, finding the open man. Quick look out to the perimeter.
Our 3 officials, Danny Crawford, Ron Gerritsen, Bill Spooner, whose father is from Hamilton. The alternate, Brian Forte. George on the inside, pass stolen away. Carroll off the turnover. Here's Lowry on a kick out for DeRozan. DeRozan on the inside in the lane. And the first bucket of the game belongs to DeRozan and the Raptors.
And that's when it works, Matt. DeMar DeRozan, catch it on the move and go. No hesitation. Great job getting into the paint.
Deflected. Here's Lowry. Lowry to the rim with the layup. And the Raptors, their defense comes up big here early on.
And you want to generate those points off your defense. And for Kyle Lowry, Matt, getting plays like that, getting layups early can be the difference. And how about that? Great defense again, Kyle Lowry stepping up. Tremendous energy. The Raptors feeding off this crowd. And DeMar DeRozan, active hands, and Matt, a layup, an easy bucket can turn things around for Kyle Lowry. And whether he scores or not, he gives you that. Always looking to take the charge.
Great start for the 2 All-Stars, defensively as well as offensively. Lowry up top, screen set by JV, gets a switch on a kick out for Carroll. Corner 3, Patterson. And it pops out.
Good movement, though, Matt. That ball is popping, and that's the way it's got to stay.
It's certainly what led to the success and that come-from-behind win in Game 5. Patterson contesting the shot of Turner. Turner.
He's been so good, Matt, but there's a lot of pressure for a rookie in this Game 7.
11th overall selection out of the University of Texas. Spin move in the denial. Mahinmi right there on the inside. Monte Ellis now gives it to George, and George drills the 3.
And that's how quickly Indiana turns it around, Matt. Great drive by Kyle Lowry. Shots blocked, Indiana comes back and scores right away.
George has made 15 threes. Shot doesn't go. Here's Ellis now. Mahinmi up top. Swings it over to George. George is tied with Kyrie Irving as a top scorer in the postseason. Change of direction. Hill finds Mahinmi and Valanciunas on the glass. Raptors have been out-rebounded the last 3 games since they inserted Miles Turner. And DeRozan gets George to leave his feet, an excellent defender. And DeRozan's going to head to the free throw line.
George has been doing a great job of staying down and not leaving his feet. How about this play right here? Kyle Lowry, great spin. Mahinmi, quick block. And at the other end of the floor, here's George with the finish.
DeRozan at the free throw line. Frank Vogel said before the game that it was a must that they keep DeRozan and Lowry away from the free throw line. They've done a solid job with that through the first 6 games. Here are the keys to the game, brought to you by Leo.
100 or bust. In only one game, which the Raptors had 98, did the winner not get 100 points. Turnovers. Raptors have given up 70 points off turnovers in their 3 losses. Take care of the rock, you give yourself a shot, and clean the slate. This win right here exercises all the demons for the Raptors if they can bring it.
Hill cut off at the elbow, gives it now to Ellis. Ellis, the 3 doesn't go. Patterson with it. The 3 has really hurt the Raptors in this series. Lowry in the paint to the trailing JV. Stop, pop, and he drills it. And the Raptors lead by 5.
Simple basketball. That's what we saw in games 2 and 3. Drive the ball into the paint, pull the defense to you, find the open man.
Monte Ellis on a drive in the layup.
He's so quick off the dribble. Really a tough guard when he puts the ball on the floor.
And Lowry goes back to the line. Mahinmi with the foul.
Well, this is when Kyle Lowry is at his best, Matt, when he's jumping into you, when he's using his body, and here just sucking in the defense, and Jonas Valanciunas nothing but a wide open look because of that.
The Eastern Conference second round is waiting on the outcome of today's game. Miami won earlier, taking a Game 7 on their home floor against Charlotte. And Kyle Lowry has struggled throughout this series. You see the numbers, but really it dates back to March 1st. Since that time, shooting from the field around 40%. But as you said, you win today, and that is all forgotten.
And so far, the start that he's had has been tremendous. And it's been layups, moving the basketball, all confidence building.
The other thing, and you have pointed this out throughout the course of the season as well as this series, as that 3-pointer goes from deep in the corner. He can impact the game on so many different levels outside of just scoring, but they need a little bit from him. No question. There's JV. And the big man comes through on the weak side with a putback.
Great job of getting that position early. He was down there waiting for that miss.
The line, that 3-point line, an issue in this series. And George knocks down his second 3.
Now, what we saw during the season with Paul George, and obviously he's gone to a different level, force him into the paint, force him to put that ball on the floor. When he can catch and look at the 3, he's been deadly.
DeRozan in the paint, and that has been key. DeRozan getting into the paint. Over 50% of his shots in the regular season come from the paint, as Monte Ellis now responds on the drive.
Well, what we've seen with DeMar DeRozan in 2 drives, Matt, he's catching a ball on the move, and that's so important, and that's what we saw in Game 5 that made a big difference for him.
DeRozan drills the 3 from Etobicoke.
That's what happens. Get those layups. Now you're feeling good. Now you step out and take that three. Everything is quick. 0.5, as Rex Kalamian talked about. Make your decision in 0.5 seconds. This guy, doesn't matter what he does. Takes his time, does it quick. He just gets it done. Paul George.
George has 8 of the 15, 3 of 3 from the field. Indiana 3 of 4 from three-point range. They're shooting just shy of 37% from downtown in this series. DeRozan, everything he's doing, as you mentioned, it's decisive. And he's not allowing the defense to come to him as he puts it on the floor.
And whatever the defense is giving him, he's taking without that hesitation. That's so important. Something that in Game 6 wasn't there for whatever reason, but he's playing strong, playing quick, playing decisive to start here.
Has 11 of the 18 for the Raptors. Game 7 from the Air Canada Center with 6:18 remaining in the first quarter.
Today we're going to talk about trucks.
Sweet.
What truck company do you think offers best-in-class V8 fuel economy?
Chevy.
Let's look at the second door. Best V8 horsepower.
I'm going with Ram. I'll go with Ram too.
Best-in-class V8 towing.
Definitely Ford.
Let's see how you did.
I'm scared.
Where's my scorecard? The new 2016 Chevy Silverado offers best-in-class V8 fuel economy,
Holy smokes.
horsepower, and towing.
They're all Chevy.
Whew, my goodness. Just reinforced my love for Chevy.
That one, yum, yum. Watch me now, watch me now, watch me now, watch me now, watch me now.
Get ready to play. The LG G5, the first phone built for fun.
Anyone who can get out right now. Do not look up, just go.
Somehow these stock market clowns stole $800 million.
I'll get you some answers.
There's a reason he interrupted you on live TV.
I just want to know where my money went.
Find out anything you can.
You have no idea how high this goes. These guys could expose everything. They're shooting at me, not you. Go! Money Monster, May 13th.
A 3-year-old whiskey has a flavor that's a little bit like this. But Gibson's Finest is fully aged for 12 years. Gives you more of a taste that's like this. It's just way more tasteful. Gibson's Finest. Taste, fully aged.
Time for By the Numbers, brought to you by BMO, proud partner and official bank of the Toronto Raptors. DeRozan and Lowry, their combined numbers, certainly a significant drop from the regular season to the postseason. And the Indiana Pacers have done an excellent job guarding them. However, DeRozan here, very much like what we saw in Game 5, he is really doing a great job early on.
And absolutely zero hesitation. He's reading the defense. He sees what the defense is giving him. He's using that dribble just to give him the space or just go right to the hoop. And he's looking for that shot right away, stepping in. Great legs, good release. This is the kind of start you want from the Toronto Raptors, and this is what you want to see both from Lowry and DeRozan. They started off getting some layups, then you go to the jump shot, but right now you can tell they both got a good vibe to them, and you just got to sustain it now.
Solomon Hill checks in. He has been a three-point threat in this series. He's made 11. George, and a foul. He is going to be charged to Jonas Valanciunas. Valanciunas, that's his first.
Well, tough call on JV, but I like getting George off that three-point line. You're going to have to be alert. You're going to have to get help, but you just cannot let him catch and shoot out there.
George at the free throw line. Nashville Predators and the San Jose Sharks. Game 2 now on CBC as Shea Weber and the Predators tried to even that series at 1 game apiece.
Now, we talked about the turnovers as being a number that jumps out at you in this series. You know, one other factor, when the Raptors have won, in the 3 games that they won, they scored better than 52 points in the first half of each of those games. Almost 26 in each of the quarters. And that's key to get off to that great start, because this is a team that we've seen during the course of the season, when their offense is clicking, everything else gets better.
DeRozan to Valanciunas.
That was great hands by JV.
Raptors by 3. Raptors 12 of their 20 from the paint. Turner on the inside over the last 3 games, averaging 14.5 points.
Yeah, he's been so good. I just love his poise. Being on the big stage, so many young players get scared. He has been tremendous at just getting better.
DeRozan makes a move. Here's Carroll on a kick out for Lowry. Lowry, a reach in. Monte Ellis touches it last. It's going to be Toronto basketball.
Good decision, though. Good decision getting into the paint. How about this catch? Tough pass from DeMar DeRozan. He threw it up. He knew where to put it. But JV never took his eyes off the ball, able to make the catch.
7 on the shot clock. Valanciunas on a handoff for Carroll. 3 on the clock. Carroll up in the air. Entry pass. Patterson puts it up. And Paul George handles it. George driving right at Valanciunas, and an excellent job by JV. Here's DeRozan. DeRozan screen set by Patterson. Will shake shimmy, and the shot doesn't go as Turner is able to give it to Solomon Hill. The pace, the Raptors trying to pick up that tempo.
That's right, and you know what, you look at that shot by DeRozan, that was a feel-good shot. That's a shot that he's feeling pretty good right now. He's going to take one of those, and you don't mind it because he's got that rhythm right now.
DeRozan, 4 of 7, 11 points. Deflected, and George with the breakaway, and Indiana with their first lead at the 4:13 mark, and a boos ring out as George spins and delivers a dunk.
Well, 4 points scored off turnovers already in this game for Indiana. And that is something the Raptors are going to have to do their best to absolutely clamp down on, whereas the Raptors at the other end, just 2 points off Indiana turnovers. Have to flip those numbers around, Matty.
Lowry.
Oh, he's got to look at the basket on that, Matt. He's got to take the shot.
Second turnover by Toronto. Dead ball turnover.
Paul George, you know, one of the great things he does is always play the angles, Matt. He's so good at position defense, whether it's on the ball or away from the ball.
Turnovers have certainly told the story of this series. In the 3 wins, the Raptors a combined 32. Carroll shot, no. Patterson active underneath and then slams it home. And that is big. They need Patrick Patterson to deliver, and he does there.
Well, 2 great things. He knew that DeMar Carroll was going to pull up, and he got position, but how many guys can go up the second time and throw it down like that?
Valanciunas jumps out at Turner. That's going to be his second, and so Bismack Biyombo is going to enter the action. Here comes Corey Joseph in for Kyle Lowry.
Great positioning right here, Patterson, and that quick second jump. And that's what makes him so valuable around the offensive glass.
3:03 remaining here in the first quarter. Valanciunas 6 points, 4 rebounds. Biyombo 10 rebounds in game 6. Corey Joseph 15 points off the bench in game 6. Monte Ellis shot doesn't go, and Biyombo with a rebound. Raptors lead by 1.
And Matt, you got to be concerned about one thing. The Raptors have come out aggressive. They're playing good basketball early outside of a few turnovers, and Indiana's right there with them.
Corey Joseph drills it. He's been here before with San Antonio.
He is all poise. That's one of the things Dwayne Casey preached about after game 6. You have to play hard, but you have to do it with poise.
Monte Ellis with the reverse layup. And a 1-point lead for Toronto. And a timeout taken by Dwayne Casey. Toronto leads 24-23. Both offenses right now really clicking.
Yeah, and the Raptors are going to have to find some way to slow down this Indiana team, but their offense can't ask for more. A lot of great things happening, including getting to the line.
Raptors by 1 in Game 7.
Best defense is defense. Use everything you have to protect your alliance. So, send a dozen choppers when one chopper will do. Build walls twice as high as you need. Join me and strike. Mobile Strike. Download and play now. Free from the App Store.
Your focus defines you. It tells people what you value most, what sets you apart. Focus makes your path clear and your vision possible. And our focus is making driving better.
Canon's Best in Glass sales event with wireless Canon DSLRs. Easily get your best images off your camera and on your compatible smartphone.
Paul George has been dominant in this series. He has 12 of the 23 for Indiana here in Game 7. The three-time All-Star here at home has been explosive. Home being the Toronto Raptors. Game 1. Had 33, had 39 the other night. And for George, he has just stepped up at the ACC.
Matt, if he's going to make those drives in traffic, you're going to live with those. If he can catch and shoot from deep, those are the things you absolutely cannot allow to happen. And here's the other thing. We're talking about Paul George and his great numbers. He's been a star in this series. DeMar DeRozan has answered the call so far early. They're going head-to-head. But you can't allow a Monte Ellis to get going right now. You can't have that second, third scorer stepping up for Indiana.
To put this into perspective, through the first 6 games, Lowry and DeRozan have combined to score 181 points, 45 rebounds, 60 assists, shooting 31%. George, 165 points, 41 rebounds, 29 assists, just 16 turnovers. He's shooting 45% from the field as DeRozan connects.
He's locked in, Matt.
He's got 13.
Yeah, he is in the zone right now. He is just making the right decision every time he touches the ball.
Raptors by 3. Their largest lead 5. Monte Ellis on a crossover, step through, shot is short, and Biyombo is going to clear it to Joseph. Corey across the timeline with a left-handed pass for DeRozan. Crossover. George gets hung up by Biyombo, and then Turner with the denial. Solomon Hill now on the break, and Corey Joseph with the magical hands gets it. Here's Carroll, gives it up. Joseph lets George fly by, drives left hand, straight out of Pickering.
He just does not give up on plays. Forced a miss on Ellis, gets a block on Ellis, and great job of using the left on that drive to avoid Turner.
Raptors by 5, 1:05 left here in the first quarter. George, offensive foul.
Defensive plays now. Rising up. DeMar Carroll, great job on Paul George. And how about Corey Joseph getting that block on Monte Ellis? And right here, almost a mistake. DeMar Carroll left his feet, found Joseph. But check this out. Getting up there quickly to the glass before Turner can get on it. DeMar Carroll, Matt, he's a physical defender. He gets into you.
Paul George checks out. The bench And it's certainly been a question mark for Indiana throughout this series. Solomon Hill, C.J. Miles, Stuckey, Ty Lawson, and Turner on the court for Frank Vogel. Their bench crumbled in the fourth quarter of Game 5, as you may recall. C.J. Miles has struggled from beyond the arc. Second chance opportunity, Biyombo right there. And Norman Powell has it stripped away. Last touch by Lawson. Raptors ball.
Right, how about the versatility of this kid right here? Norman Powell comes into a game. You got him on Lawson. We've seen him guard Paul George. It doesn't matter. He just finds Dwayne Casey has a comfort level to put him in on anybody. And that was just good defense there. Biyombo on the big fella Turner.
DeRozan. Biyombo, Carroll. Norman Powell, Joseph up top. Stuckey on him. DeRozan sets a screen. 5, 4, off the drive. Shot doesn't go. Here's C.J. Miles launching it. And Carroll got a piece of it. And the Toronto Raptors in Game 7 here at home. An 8-2 run to end the first quarter. They lead by 5.
Offensively, so many good things happening. The D tightening it up right now. They have the Pacers down at just under 43%.
Paul George with a dozen. And DeRozan with one better through the first 12 minutes. He's got 13.
AutoTrader makes it easy to sell a car online. Just enter the make and model, upload a few photos, and let the responses roll in. And I've got this weird feeling it's free, too. Check out AutoTrader today.
Surprise mom with a stunning 1 carat of diamonds. Limited time, $7.99. Ask today about easy payment terms on a Michael Hill car. Michael Hill, we're for love.
Coors Light asks, what will you brave when the mountains turn blue? Will you brave taking a new run? How about braving a road trip to enemy territory in your team's colors? Will you follow a light leading to who knows where? And for the brave ones, when that can turns blue, it's as ready as you are. Will you brave the cold? Coors Light.
It begins by picking up their first ball. It begins with their first dribble, their first coach, their first shot. It begins by growing in commitment, determination, and passion. It begins with learning the game and loving the game. Come play with the NBA. Register your child at juniornba.ca.
The Raptors lead by 5 after a quarter in a very loud ACC. Shot 50% in the opening frame, led by DeMar DeRozan's 13 points. And Alvin Williams, after scoring 8 points in Game 4, Alvin responded with 34 in Game number 5. And a dream start in this one.
Definitely, he's coming out very aggressive. Catching the basketball on the move, using screen and rolls, finishing at the basket. Everything that the Raptors need him to do, he's doing. He's being efficient, he's being decisive, and he has a great rhythm for his offensive side of the ball.
Alvin had 11 of the Raptors' first 18, 13 after a quarter.
Paul George in Game 6, guys. A quiet 21 by his standards. He's off to a great start here, but he picked up a huge second foul at the end of that quarter. How big of an opportunity, Alvin, do the Raptors have now, especially early on in the quarter with PG on the bench?
This is a great opportunity, especially for DeMar, because he's the one, Paul George is the one who's been stopping DeMar pretty much. But now the Raptors got to stay their course, they got to stay steady, and make sure that the Indiana Pacers defense does not get them off a rhythm.
I've never heard this place like this in my life.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
It's going to be that kind of evening. Matt, Leo, back to you.
It certainly is going to be, and then out on Jurassic Park. And coming back inside the Air Canada Center. And for the Indiana Pacers, you had a feeling he wasn't going to sit for long. 2 fouls, yes. But they understand that they need him on the floor. So
he's smart enough to play with fouls, Matt, but you want to put the pressure on him and look to attack him.
In that Game 5 loss here at the Air Canada Center, he put up 39. He had 33 in Game 1. His lowest scoring performance, Paul George's, in this series. Game 4, 19, but Indiana came away with a victory. Joseph with Biyombo going to work. Up at the rim, and Biyombo.
Well, a lot of contact there, Matt.
Yes, he was fouled. Lawson gives it up. Here's George. It's a 3, and it's good. And we're tied once again. He's going to be around all night. He's got 15, 5 of 7 shooting.
And when you close out on him on that three-point shot, Matt, you don't want to jump by him. You want to close him out to take him off that shot.
Here's Lowry, season opening. Now Biyombo getting busy as he throws down the hammer.
He's just a beast. Anything around the bucket, he's looking to take the rim down, and he's had a couple of nice looks from Joseph and now Lowry.
Raptors 20 of their 30 come from the paint. Lawson on a kick out here. Stuckey with the 3, and it's at three-point line once again, Leo. 5 of 8 from 3, and Indiana by 1. The Raptors,
Game 5, 11 threes in the first half. That was huge for them.
Raptors 29th in the league in three-point field goal defense. Here's Norman Powell. Joseph now drives, spins, cut off, bounce pass. Powell the 3. Norman Powell from Port Perry.
Matt, I love the way the ball is moving. It's going side to side. They're getting dribble penetration. They're finding the open man. They're making the game so much easier by using that pass.
Lawson and Biyombo commits the foul.
You know, we've seen the Raptors just labor offensively when they don't move the basketball, or they just try to go one-on-one with the defense set. And look how many times they're getting into the paint and going side to side to get a great look. Even the penetration here, Lowry, he knew exactly where his teammate was. Biyombo, great hands on the catch to finish.
Lawson at the line, and the first free throw is missed. Get your name on the Raptors Season Seat Priority Wait List today. For more information on how you can get season seats for the 2016-17 season, visit raptors.com/waitlist today. Pacers are 3-4 all time in Game 7s, 2-4 on the road, Leo. Raptors are 0-2 all time in Game 7s, 0-1 here. Home team has won 80% all time in postseason Game 7s as Lowry misses. Biyombo still working hard. He's going to head to the free throw line.
But Matt, Biyombo doesn't get that if Kyle Lowry doesn't stay with his miss and keep that ball alive. And that goes back to what you were saying. You do other things to help. Here he misses, but look at that. Taps it, keeps it alive, and he knows with Biyombo around the basket, if you could just keep it alive and give him a chance, he'll get his mitts on.
Biyombo heads to the line. 9 of the last 10 NBA Game 7s have been won by the home team, and that includes Miami today. You see the difference in the 3 wins compared to the 3 losses. Free throws certainly a key factor in that for Biz. And here he is at the line.
Oh, that was flat. No legs in that free throw at all.
And he misses both.
That was just all wrist above his head.
Raptors 3 of 6 from the free throw line. 2 of 5 from beyond the arc. Lawson on the inside. Biyombo with a rebound. Lowry on the run. Corey on a kick out. Powell, the rookie from downtown. Norman Powell with 2 big threes here in the second. How about this second rounder out of UCLA? Mr. Serious.
He's got the perfect playoff disposition, and his teammates trust him. Corey Joseph knows you find Powell, he'll make it.
Raptors by 4.
TV is about to become more captivating. Movies more real. The bottom of the ninth more powerful. And overtime more intense. Introducing Rogers 4K TV. Get closer to the action with 4 times the resolution of HD. Experience what's next.
Spring is here. Almost. Time to change to Kumho Solus tires. Kumho is engineered for all roads and all seasons all across Canada. OK Tire. Service, repair, and tires.
The Timmins Hit Show features in-depth sports analysis and high-profile guests. Catch them weeknights from 5 to 7 Eastern right here on Sportsnet, or connect online 24/7 at Tim and Sid. And send it over to Eric Smith. E.
All right, thank you, Matt. Corey Joseph has helped spark things off the bench for the Toronto Raptors. 4 points, 3 assists. Of course, he's the only player on this Raptors roster who has won an NBA championship. I spoke to him prior to the ball game, and I asked him, what does it take to win in the playoffs and to win a championship? And he said specifically 4 things in bullet points. He said, E, discipline, laser focus, attention to detail, and energy. That's what it takes to win a Game 7, let alone to go on to win a championship. And Corey's certainly providing it right now, guys.
Yeah, the Raptors have had that here early on.
Yeah, and when that point about attention to detail, Corey Joseph, you talk to NBA coaches and they'll tell you in the playoffs, you have to know what the other team is running. You got to know where you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to be doing at all times. You cannot have any loss of focus. And right now, the Raptors, they're locked in, Matt. They're getting production from everybody.
Stuckey. George guarded by Powell. Mahimi sends a screen. George doesn't use it. Joseph with the rebound gets it to Ross, just checking in.
How about Powell? Knocking down threes. Playing D. He's ready.
Corey, top of the circle. Jumper, and it's good. He is coming in like a veteran that has been there before, and he's just 24 years of age. 14 points off of the bench for Toronto.
You just know exactly what you're going to get from Corey Joseph all the time.
3-second violation. It's as if he's got a master's degree from the University of San Antonio.
Hey, that's a pretty good one. I heard that's a pretty good school to get one from. You know, he's taking the right shots. He's moving the basketball. His defense, he just works. He's just a workhorse at that end of the floor. But his poise, as we talked about earlier, most of all, is something the Raptors desperately need, and he's giving them.
Ross, under 10 of the clock, trying to make the move, cut off, and now driving in the air, gives it to Powell, the 3 with the clock down. Biyombo on the weak side, unable to come away with it. And Stuckey is able now to bring it across the timeline. The Raptors on an 8-1 run, Leo.
Yeah, see, Raptors haven't been doing what we just saw, playing around with the basketball. That doesn't work against this Pacer team. You got to move it. When you put that ball on the floor, you're either going to the bucket or you're creating for your teammate, something Dwayne Casey has preached to his team all series.
Frank Vogel and Dwayne Casey both shouting out instructions to their teams.
I was talking with Alvin Williams about that the other day, how important it is when you do put that ball on the floor, look to see where you can take that ball to get your teammate a better look and to shift the defense.
Stuckey drills it. And Stuckey,
he's a dangerous offensive player.
He's got 7 of their 8 bench points.
Yeah, he can be a big-time player. He's physical, and he can get a shot at the offensive end.
Lowry tracks it down. George Hill guarding him. That length has been an issue. Here's Ross, the 3 in the corner, no. Biyombo and Joseph in a crowd. Out front to Powell with a fresh shot clock. Corey Joe, and the 3 doesn't go. And a lot of contact underneath. 4-point lead. there as Lowry gets hung up and grabbing that left elbow with 6:54 remaining here in the first half. And the foul's going to be charged to Lowry.
Kyle Lowry sees the screen, and that's what you want to do. You want to stick that arm out there to try to get through the screen. It definitely looked like a moving screen.
I don't see where the foul is on Lowry.
No,
I know that the left arm was going there, but
and then you use that arm to try to leverage your way through the screen.
George with Powell guarding him tightly.
See, Powell's an old school defender now. He may be forcing you to the baseline, but he's not giving you the baseline. He's staying in front of you and saying, I got you. Go ahead, show me what you have.
DeRozan back in, and his pass deflected by Stuckey right over to Drake.
Remember what we were saying earlier about Paul George. If you let him face the basket and take shots, he's going to make shots. Get him into the paint, get him turning, and it makes it a lot harder. And that's just great defense by Powell, staying in front of him and challenging the shot.
You play defense by using your feet, and you saw it there.
And he does that all the time. He's very disciplined at that end of the floor.
Joseph, off-balance shot. And Solomon Hill tracks it down. Raptors by 4 as we near the 6-minute mark of Game 7. George, and a foul. And the foul's going to be on DeRozan. And that's going to be his first. George with 15, DeMar with 13. This game's settling in a little bit here. As far as the defense starting to take over, we saw so much offense early.
Well, you know both teams are going to have to clamp down at that end of the floor. The Raptors have been doing a better job. Just got to have poise right now at the offensive end. Don't get crazy.
We're at 10 of the shot clock. Lowry driving into a crowd and a turnover. Stuckey on the break. And a great job by the rookie Powell. And Joseph also hustling back. Here's Norman, finds a cutting Lowry. What a play by the rookie.
How good is it when you can trust a rookie to help you offensively, make shots, make plays for you defensively, and throw them on the best player on the other team?
He keeps playing like this. They may have to buy him dinner instead of the other way around. Stuckey unable to get it done because of the presence of Norman Powell. And then watch him go here to Lowry. And the Raptors lead by 6.
Juicy Fruit, official gum of the Toronto Raptors. Juicy Fruit, official gum of the Toronto Raptors.
Autobahn for All is all about you and your new Volkswagen Tiguan and your all-wheel drive and your App Connect and so much more. For low finance rates and a cash bonus you just can't pass up, visit VWOffers.ca.
Juicy Fruit, official gum of the Toronto Raptors.
BMO Trivia brought to you by BMO, proud partner and official bank of the Toronto Raptors, who was the leading scorer for for the Raptors in Game 7 at Philadelphia in 2001.
Give you a hint. It's not who you think it was.
You go back to Game 1, and Paul George had 33 points in Indiana, 11 of 21 from three-point range. Raptors came back and took Game 2. Valanciunas 23 points and 15 rebounds, and then Game 3. Tamari Carroll stepped up big time, had a huge night from downtown. Game 4, Indiana responded big as Yana Mahimi put up 22. And how about this comeback by the Toronto Raptors in Game 5, career playoff best, 34 for DeMar DeRozan and Miles Turner in Indiana, forcing a Game 7 by winning Game 6 in Indianapolis. And so here we are with 5:19 remaining in the first half. Game 7, Raptors lead by 6.
And Matt, how do you win a playoff game? Raptors +6 on the glass so far. They're +10 points in the paint. They're 4 zip second chance points, 7-2 fast break points. Those are the kind of numbers you have to maintain all game. Corey Joseph getting a break, did an outstanding job, Matt. He was pushing tempo, 10 minutes, 3 of 5, 6 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Solid effort.
Next to the veteran Luis Scola.
And Luis Scola is not one of those guys going to sit there and sulk. He's teaching guys. He's talking to guys. He's helping this team every opportunity he has, whether he plays or not.
Great point. George to Turner on the inside, and Turner misses. Lowry was right there. Valanciunas along with DeRozan, Carroll, Norman Powell, and Kyle up top. Screen set by JV. Valanciunas squares up short with that jumper.
Little deep. Take another step in, big fella.
And see if the defense even reacts to you. Turner, spin move. JV with the denial. Lowry.
Dangerous play with 2 fouls.
Turner, 1 of 6. JV deep in the post, and he turns it over.
Dwayne Casey wanted a foul on Paul George.
And a foul's going to be charged to Lowry. That's his second. George has 2. Valanciunas with 2. And Mahimi with 2.
That was a good pass here by Kyle Lowry. It's right there. Paul George looked like he got a bit of the arm on Valanciunas, but if you're JV, you know there's going to be contact. Got to get 2 hands on the ball if you can. Be strong with it.
Whoa. Indiana, 1 for their last 8. Screen set by Turner. George Hill. And Hill has come on strong over the last 4 games.
Yeah, he's tough. That was a lot of pressure from Powell as well. Still made the shot. You know, Matt, it was that Game 4 when the Raptors had a ton of points. Great shot by DeRozan.
15 now for DeMar.
Game 4, ton of points given up off turnovers. Who was one of the beneficiaries of that game? Hill. He got on track in that game, and he's maintained it since.
Hill, 15.5 points over the last 4 games. Turner gives it to Hill, up fake, now drives end line. The help comes, but the finger roll, and it's good. George Hill.
He's another guy that went to the San Antonio University of basketball. He learned the game from Popovich.
Valanciunas helps out by coming down with a foul on the floor. And the foul's on Turner and JV, making a quick, strong move. The slam dunk doesn't count, no continuation. But Turner picks up the foul.
Right here. Well, look at Turner's defensive position. He's upright, and that's just a good decision by Jonas Valanciunas. He's got a good first step, Matt. And he lets the young fella know, hey, I'm here to play. This is Game 7.
Timeout taken by Dwayne Casey, and Dwayne Casey engaging Bill Spooner.
You want some continuation on that play.
Well, you saw the push coming as JV was going up, but Ron Gerritsen had the foul prior to that. The Toronto Raptors lead by 4, 3:21 remaining in the first half of Game 7 on Sportsnet.
Whenever I'm around you, I go home a little bit. There's just something about you where the pieces all fit. There's a lightness that surrounds you, and it guides me like a star. Oh, I am who I am, because you are who you are.
Steve, let's take your car to the meeting. Could be your big break.
Time for a new Toyota? Get great offers on many 2016 models, like a new Corolla. Toyota Red Tag Days, on now.
It's always a good time at Pizza Pizza, especially since our pizza is made from so many good things, like our fresh dough, hand-tossed and dusted with durum semolina, our home-style vine-ripened tomato sauce, topped with 100% Canadian cheese. Create your own large 3-topping pizza with 3 free Coke, all for just $13.99. Pizza Pizza. Good food, good value, and good times. Let's go Raptors!
Tony, the safest hands are still our own. I'm doing what has to be done.
How long are you gonna play both sides?
Do you really want to punch your way out of this?
You chose the wrong side. Keep telling yourself that.
I may be retired, but I haven't slowed down. So I wear new Skechers Relax Fit Sport footwear for athletic comfort that packs a punch.
Relax Fit Sport footwear for instant comfort, exclusively from Skechers.
It's the first time they've met since one of the craziest games in Blue Jay history. Kevin Pillar and Toronto go up against Prince Fielder and the Texas Rangers at the Rogers Center Monday on Sportsnet and Sportsnet 4K, with the Jays winning today against the Rays 5-1. Marcus Stroman on the hill. And what a wonderful scene outside the Air Canada Center. Devoted fan base. And the season's without a series win. And the Toronto Raptors go back to 2001. It's been 14 long seasons. And just 2 short seasons ago in 2014, the Toronto Raptors in a Game 7 against the Brooklyn Nets. And Kyle Lowry had an opportunity at the end of that game, and the Raptors lost to the Brooklyn Nets. The most expensive team in NBA history. Norman Powell continues to impress.
Taking over. Matt, one of the things in that Game 7, DeMar DeRozan said it the other day, that feeling after that game, you never forget. And, you know, great players, they hate losing more than they like winning. And that's a feeling you got to think about before this game and say, I never want to experience that again.
Lowry to Valanciunas. Good job of JV not bringing it down, just putting it back up and through, and the Raptors lead by 8. This is their largest. A 16-7 run.
How about Kyle Lowry, the facilitator? 6 assists already in this game.
You don't mind Turner taking that shot?
No, I mean, if he's taking that shot, obviously not that wide open, you don't mind him getting the lion's share of the shots, that's for sure. Better than Paul George with the ball in his hands.
Absolutely. DeRozan with 15. Finds Lowry up top.
The Raptors have to keep moving, Matt. Can't get stagnant offensively.
A deep 3. Long rebound, Norman. Kicks it over to DeRozan. JV down low with George on him. Kick out, Powell. Steps up the 2, and it's good. And Norman Powell breaking through in the first half of his first Game 7 of his career. 10 now.
And that's how to handle an offensive rebound. Get a new possession and use it wisely. Great job of finding Powell.
And Hill quiets the crowd. He has 9.
He's one of the veteran players on this Indiana team. He's got Game 7 experience. He's got Eastern Conference Finals experience, and he knows how to settle this team down.
DeRozan pulls up, foul line, Jay, no. And Turner there. That's only his 2nd rebound. George trying to take flight. Carroll stays with him. George right at JV.
Tell you what, good no call by the officials too. A lot of contact right there. JV did a good job of going up straight.
22nd timeout taken by The Toronto Raptors, it's a 4-point game. George with 17 points.
No, he's just so tough. Now remember, a lot of points in that first quarter, a lot quieter here in the second. Kyle Lowry facilitating, moving the basketball, 6 assists. Jonas Valanciunas, great job, as you pointed out, Matt, catching that ball, keeping it up high with the finish. And then right here, off an offensive rebound, patience, move the basketball. Powell playing so well right now. 10 points on 4 of 5 shooting, and here's that play. Could have been a call. And fortunately, no foul on Jonas Valanciunas, but a strong move by Paul George.
I was speaking to Dan Tolzman, the director of scouting for the Toronto Raptors, about Norman Powell, and he said, you always go to UCLA, you watch their games, you watch their practices, so many one-and-dones, guys leave early. But your eye would always go to Norman Powell. He said he's a consistent worker, always has his game face on. He takes practices seriously, and he has that serious demeanor about him.
That's a great point. I mean, I've watched many practices. That look right there is what you see every single day.
Yeah, he said he has that maturity and the understanding of what it takes, and he plays bigger than his 6'4" frame. Shot doesn't go. JV continues to battle. Carroll hustling, and last touch by Indiana. Raptor ball.
Those are the efforts, as we pointed out earlier. You want to win a playoff game, you got to get the loose balls, the second chance opportunities. Jonas Valanciunas keeping that ball alive. Carroll making a dive.
46.2 seconds remain here in the second quarter. DeRozan with it, and a fresh shot clock. DeMar, jumper doesn't go, and Jonas underneath, and a foul.
Hey, Matt, big time hands right there. He just took that ball out of George Hill's hands. He wanted that ball more than anybody else in the paint. He's putting in the work. He's jockeying for position. Look at this. Working, and he just took that ball away from George Hill. Unfortunately, couldn't get it to go down.
Hill with his first foul. Valanciunas, 79% in the series from the free throw line, 19 of 24. And the big man makes the first.
We're seeing a couple of shots by DeRozan right now off balance. Remember, make good on balance shots early. Don't get away from that.
The road to the 6 starts with the Raptors 9:05. Secure your 2016-2017 season seats by contacting the team at tickets at Raptors905.com. Valanciunas, successful trip to the free throw line, 10 points. 6 rebounds for Jonas in 13 minutes. Raptors lead by 6. Hill. Shot doesn't go. Valanciunas, his 7th rebound. Fans to their feet. 8 seconds left in the first half of Game 7. DeRozan drives, no call. Loose ball scooped up by Powell. Taken by Turner, and the first half comes to a close. Raptors lead 50-44.
Matt, in the 3 wins the Raptors have had in this series, they've scored at least 50 points in the first half, and that's where they're sitting right now.
Let's send it over to Eric Smith. He's with DeMar DeRozan, who has 15.
DeMar, you got off to a hot start individually and as a team in the first quarter. What was the difference?
Just came out aggressive on both ends. Try to get stopped and get a rhythm on the offensive end. That's what we did.
What's the key to sustaining this and building on it in the second half?
Continue to get a stop. So we got to get a stop. Rest of this game, we just got to get stopped.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
There's DeMar DeRozan as the Raptors lead at the half, 50-44. DeRozan with 15 points to lead the way for the Raptors. When we come back, Tim and Sid will be alongside Alvin Williams later in the half. 3-point Grange with Michael Grange as the Raptors again lead at the half, 50-44.
Awaken your 500 senses. Meet the redesigned 2016 Honda CBR 500R.
For a limited time, get incredibly fast, unlimited internet so your family can stream on all their devices. Easily discover the TV shows, sports, and movies you'll love. Plus, you get the comfort of unlimited home phone to always keep you connected to what matters. With fast speeds and unlimited usage, it's the perfect bundle for your family. Switch to a Rogers Ignite 100 Unlimited Bundle now with a guaranteed price of $99.99 a month for 2 years. Call 1-888-ROGERS-1 today.
Surprise Mom with this ring, a light with a 3rd carat of diamonds, $349. Sparkling diamond earrings, $299. And 10 karat gold drop earrings, just $59. Michael Hill, we're for love.
It's always a good time at Pizza Pizza, especially since our pizza is made from so many good things, like our fresh...
Have a great opportunity here to, as we said, exercise all the demons, but they got 24 minutes of absolute hustle where they got to leave it all on the floor right now.
The home team has won 26 straight Game 7s when leading at half. Raptors lead by 6 here in Game 7. Paul George up top. Here's Hill. Hesitates. Now cut off. Turner spinning around. Clock is down. Off the bounce. Shot doesn't go. Valanciunas with a rebound.
And that's even a better shot to give Turner. Above the free throw line, on the move, off the dribble.
DeRozan and George holding on to him. And DeMar brings it back into the front court with 6 on the clock. Makes a move. Patterson, the 3, and it doesn't go. And a good, clean look for Patrick Patterson. He's 1 of 5. George in transition. The 3 is short. Turner and DeRozan takes it away. Lead pass to Lowry. To the trailer, Carroll, the 3, and it doesn't go. And the Raptors had a couple of good looks. They're 3 of 12 from beyond the arc.
Well, you had a couple of good looks from deep, but now you're plus 10 in the paint. Drop that ball inside. Get a good possession, unless you get something here off a steal or in transition to the basket.
Mahimi, Ellis now. Over to Hill. DeRozan closes out. Ellis triggers a 3.
Good pressure by Kyle Lowry.
And DeRozan as well to get Hill to give it up. Carroll sets a screen on a switch. George guards Lowry. DeRozan in the corner. George Hill on him. Backs him down. Spin. Short corner. Shot doesn't go. And Paul George with a rebound. Turner on the inside, guarded by Patterson. Turner backs down, and the shot comes off the front of the rim. Turner just 3 of 10.
And talking to somebody from Indiana within the organization, they said, you know what, this is the first game that Turner's kind of looked like a rookie.
Patterson from Dresden. 53-44.
Patterson needed that, Matt. He's had statistically slower start as a starter, and he's such a valuable player for the Raptors. If he could just knock down a couple and loosen up.
Mahimi throws it down. Mahimi had that huge Game 4.
Good setup by Monte Ellis. Threading the needle. Good pass. And Patrick Patterson looked over at JV, said, my bad, I should have been there sooner.
Mahimi had 22 and 10 in Game 4 since that performance. A combined 16 points, 10 rebounds. He's been a non-factor. Patterson puts it on the deck, backs in, spins left hand, doesn't go.
Yeah, with Turner's length, Matt, you can't back him in. You got to beat him off the dribble, but he's not a player you can back up like that.
Mahimi underneath JV. Now we got a piece of it. Dwayne Casey wants his team to pick up the pace. Kyle with the layup, and they're coming out exactly the way you want the Raptors to begin the third.
Defense is outstanding. Great little hesitation move by Kyle Lowry. Held it up, looked like he was going to wait, and then saw there was nobody paying attention down low. It just exploded to the bucket.
Indiana 1 of 7 on a switch. Hill loses it. Valanciunas scoops it up over to Lowry, to DeRozan. Carroll drifts into the corner. The corner 3. Carroll from Red Deer. 58-46. Raptors on an 8-2 run.
This is the way you want to come out of that halftime, Matt. You want to assert your will at the defensive end. The Raptors are doing it, and they're getting some great looks at the offensive end.
All roads, all friends, all places the road ends. All potholes, mud holes, even the endless supply of bleep holes. All the crazy weather days, and all the weekend getaways. The Subaru Impreza, Canada's most affordable all-wheel drive.
Here's PK Subban, gets open, passes off, Markov scores. Victor Hedman walks it, passes, Johnson steps to the outside, puts that top.
Where will you be for the defining moments of the Stanley Cup playoffs? Don't miss a moment of the action from anywhere with Rogers NHL Game Center Live. Free with select plans and bundles.
Coors Light has always been a hardcore Raptors fan, so we'd like to say cheers to the brave, the dedicated, the unified, and the fanatic who go above and beyond to brave the cold. Coors Light, official sponsor of the Toronto Raptors.
Welcome to Miami, Miami, we're coming to you! Miami, baby! Yeah!
He's ready. Time now for the Coors Light fan of the game. Brave the cold. Fans in arena or at home. Show us how you brave the cold by using hashtag Brave the Cold on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, and you get to be seen on our broadcast. Go to sportsnet.ca/bravethecold for more. Raptors 5 of 14 from three-point range, none bigger than the last two. Patterson and then Carroll in the corner.
And how'd they get them, Matt? Kyle Lowry down from the paint, kicking it out. DeMarre Carroll in transition, wide open. Those are the opportunities they'll get that just make it easier, cleaner, and Raptors just have to keep pushing.
Raptors, this is their largest lead, 58-46. Monte Ellis finds George, guarded by Carroll. Here's Ellis trying to create, and Mahimi loses it out of bounds. You think there's a sense of urgency?
Oh, yeah.
DeMar DeRozan said the season would be a failure if we don't get out of the first round and give ourselves a chance to play in the second round. But we understand that.
They understand the importance of this, Matt, and you're seeing it from Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. They're leading this team. Everybody's riding their shoulders right now.
Carroll tracks it down. Fresh shot clock. Patterson now from Whitby.
You know, when your best players come to play, when they start out a game like this, it gives everybody confidence. And right now, the Raptors are feeding off of one another.
61-46. It's now up to 15. George silences the crowd. 61-49. 7-10. Left in the third. Lowry over to Patterson. Patterson with the up fake on Turner. Kyle pulls it back out. JV with the screen, gets the switch, and Mahimi.
Dwayne Casey was looking for that call early. A lot of contact. Kyle Lowry was trying to turn the corner. Mahimi bumped him off. Patrick Patterson, DeMar DeRozan doesn't get that one to go down, but again, the Raptors just hustling down the loose balls, doing a great job in that regard. And finding Patrick Patterson. Every time you get those opportunities off the offensive board, you get great looks.
Lowry, shot doesn't go. He's still been unable to get that shot to fall. And a foul on JV. That's an issue because for Valanciunas, that's going to be his third. He's got a double-double, 10 points and 11 rebounds, but he just picked up his third.
He just has to play smart right now. He's been aggressive, doing a great job out there.
On the inside.
How many of those have we seen in this game? Monte Ellis so good at turning the corner.
Since it was a 15-point lead, it's been a 5-0 run by Indiana. Here's DeRozan on the inside, battling Ellis with it. Monte cruises across the line and gives it now to Hill. Hill step through in an 8-point game. And a timeout taken. The response from Indiana. It's a 7-0 run, Leo.
Yeah, good timeout by Dwayne Casey right here. You want to nip this in the bud. Raptors just have to settle down right now. Continue to play that great defense. Get some good looks at the offensive end. You don't need to force. Keep moving the basketball. Got to be able to tighten the D. Monte Ellis, as we said, Matt, he's so good at turning the corner. And Solomon Hill, very strong driver as well as a tremendous three-point shooter.
8-point advantage for the Raptors in Game 7 in the third.
You see this, but you feel this. You see this, but this is what you feel. Maybe that's a little exaggerated. These are lights. These are also lights. You don't see this, but you hear this, and it feels something like this. And this is what you drive. Isn't it magic?
What if your next phone could take photos like a pro, even in low light? What if it gave you a memory to expand to store all your pictures? And what if it could do all that and still look this good? Not you, buddy. Sorry.
It's always a good time at Pizza Pizza, especially since our pizza is made from so many good things, like our fresh dough, hand-tossed and dusted with durum semolina, our home-style vine-ripened tomato sauce, topped with 100% Canadian cheese. Create your own large 3-topping pizza with 3 free Coke, all for just $13.99. Pizza Pizza, good food, good value, and good times. Let's go Raptors!
Anyone can buy a car like a pro with Auto Trader. You just pick the make and model, select the car you want, and contact the seller. Scott's in the slot. Just visit Auto Trader, okay?
Joey Batson, Marcus Stroman. It's the first time that they'll meet the Texas Rangers since one of the craziest games in Blue Jay history. That's tomorrow, Monday on Sportsnet, 6:30 on Sportsnet and Sportsnet 4K. Stroman allows just one run as he was able to collect a victory on his birthday. Happy birthday to the Stro Show, and a 7-0 run by the Indiana Pacers. 8 innings of work for Stroman, by the way. 3 hits, 9 strikeouts. He's 4-0 on the season.
Well, veteran players stepping up, and then Solomon Hill, who's always a threat to shoot. He's been doing such a great job of knocking down the three-pointer series. He gets all that attention out up top, which allows him that opportunity to put the ball on the floor and drive. And coming into the series, he was a major matchup concern for the Raptor coaches.
61-53. Lowry sends it to Valanciunas. Quickly now DeRozan. DeRozan with Monte Ellis guarding him. Valanciunas resets the screen, and DeMar gets fouled on his attempt. Frank Vogel right in the ear, veteran official, and Crawford.
A little hesitation before he went up, and he was able to pull Monte Ellis towards him to draw the foul. But Raptors have to be careful, Matt. They can't fall back into the habit of just dribbling the basketball, over-dribbling to get their shots. The movement in the first half was exceptional. They have to find a way to maintain that. Set good screens, inside out, swing the ball. You'll get all the shots you want.
DeRozan 83% in this series from the line, and able to get it both there. He's got 17. We talked about it early on here tonight. Turnovers. Raptors have turned it over only 4 times, leading to 4 points.
A huge number.
Hill on the inside on the breakdown defensively. Raptors up by 8, and Hill with a foul, and it's on Solomon Hill.
You know, the veteran guys, we saw Paul George help stop a run by the Raptors, and George Hill, he's so good. He's been shooting the 3 well, but capable of getting into the paint. And he's one of those players that just plays with poise. He's a player that plays under control every time he's on the floor.
DeRozan, Carroll, Lowry, the deep 3. And Mahinmi comes away with it. And Kyle, 3 of 9. DeRozan, 6 of 19. And Mahinmi gets a handoff from George. And it's an 11-2 run. It's now a 6-point game. Raptors have missed 4 in a row.
Well, that literally was a handoff by Paul George. I don't even know if Mahinmi was really looking for that ball, but Paul George just put it right in his hands.
Lowry, here's Patterson, the break, good! Patrick Patterson from Victoria.
See, Matt didn't get that shot off the dribble. That shot was off of movement, and that's what you want to continue to do.
George.
Good help by Valanciunas.
Lowry off and running. To DeRozan, driving, and a blocking foul. The bucket and the foul. DeRozan's got 19. Lowry's got 9 dimes.
But you don't get that if you don't get to stop at the other end of the floor. DeMar Carroll pressuring Paul George. Valanciunas comes to help, and at the other end, DeMar Carroll, DeMar DeRozan, great job absorbing the contact, getting the foul, making a bucket.
And that determined look on his face. Valanciunas out. Biyombo checks in. Biyombo, 4 rebounds in the first half. 69-57. The Raptors respond coming out of the timeout. George Hill driving, and the presence of Biyombo.
I think he got a piece of that, Matt.
DeRozan. Jumper, good! DeMar DeRozan sticks it. The Raptors, an 8-0 run over the last 53 seconds. 22 for DeMar.
Raptors are getting the stops. Check out Biyombo. He comes over here and may have gotten a piece of it. If he didn't, he altered that shot enough to force the miss. And DeMar DeRozan just doing work right now offensively. 22 points in the game. Crowd in here has been unbelievable from start right through.
They really have. They've been behind their Raptors throughout. BMO Trivia brought to you by BMO, proud partner and official bank of the Toronto Raptors. The BMO Trivia, who was the Raptors' leading scorer in the Game 7 at Philadelphia in 2001. Antonio Davis with 23 points.
That the hustle plays continue to work in the Raptors' favors. 10-2 on the offensive glass for Toronto. 11-0 in second chance points for the Raptors as well.
But as you have noted, it's been their work done here at this end. And then they've taken care of the ball. DeMonte Ellis can get it so quick, and he's able to rise up and drill the shot. Their backcourts combined for 21. Ellis with 10 and Hill with 11.
Monte Ellis, 5 of 11.
DeRozan, jumper, doesn't go, and George with it. 12-point lead, Paul George. He's got 20. Solomon Hill, guarded by Biyombo. Mahinmi, guarded by Patterson on a switch. Hill, the three, and it's good. George Hill sticks another big three.
Just love his demeanor, man. He's just a cool customer out there, not afraid of the big shot, not afraid of the moment. Always seems to answer the call.
Joseph up top. 10 points for Powell off of the bench. Joseph with 6. Biyombo with 2. Their bench combined 18. It's been a tight rotation. Ross, less than 5 minutes in the first half. Joseph to DeRozan. DeMar. Good, and DeRozan's got 24. Stepping up big here in Game 7. And now a little reaction after that bucket, and Mahinmi is going to inbound the basketball.
Well, that's a tough shot right there. You got 2 guys got a hand up on you, and you still knock it down. DeMar DeRozan, just what an effort we're seeing from him.
George trying to get it going, and Biyombo is able to come away with it. George really hadn't had a touch in a while. Wanted to see if he could get it to fall. Spin move, DeMar with a left hand. He's come up huge in Game 7.
Reminding everybody that he is an all-star.
Ellis. No, Patterson rebound. DeRozan, 11 of his 26 here in the third.
And no second shot opportunities. It's one and done for Indiana. They miss under great duress, and they do not get any second chance opportunities. And that's foul number 3 on Paul George.
DeRozan, 10 of 24.
And when you got a guy like Monte Ellis switching on you, you want to go to the bucket, use your size. Great move by DeRozan.
Entering today's game, 2 of the last 3 games he has scored just 8 points, and then the playoff career best 34 for DeRozan. Game 5 performance, this performance, it's clear when he's making his decisions and being, and we've said this throughout, decisive. No hesitation, no doubt.
And you could see it right from the beginning of the game. You could see it in Game 5, the way he started. You could see it here in Game 7. Everything just exact, precise. He knows what he's got to do, and he's getting it done.
So much pressure. DeRozan understands as Patterson checks out. Paul George, in fact, said there's added pressure on them, meaning the Raptors. Being at home, their troubles getting out of the first round. It comes down to who wants it. And he said, we feel good about it, but thus far, it's been DeMar DeRozan.
Matt,
his 7th season out of USC.
You know, I mentioned it earlier, and what DeMar DeRozan said the other day just stuck with me. He remembers that feeling of Game 7, losing, and it's a horrible feeling. He didn't even want to mention the idea of losing a game because of what that brings back.
Stuckey. And Rodney Stuckey steps up. He's got 9. It's a 13-point advantage with 1:22 left in the third quarter of Game 7. DeRozan up top.
Boy, Paul George just shoved Biyombo trying to get to DeMar DeRozan.
DeRozan double clutch. Loose ball. Biyombo battling, and a jump ball is called.
That's been the story. Drake appreciating that hustle by Biyombo. It seems that every opportunity for an offensive rebound, Biyombo and his teammates are in there scrapping and grabbing after, getting after it.
1.4 on the shot clock for the Raptors. Raptors started this third on an 8-2 run, then an 11-2 run by Indiana. Knocked out of bounds. It's Raptor ball. Raptors have responded. They haven't turned it over here in the third. They lead by 13. There's 1.4 remaining on the shot clock, and Bill Spooner and Ian Crawford, they're going to make sure that everything is set. Under a minute remaining in the third. Here's DeRozan, turns, fires, shoots, and it doesn't go. And for the Toronto Raptors, up 77-64. That's their 5th turnover, their first. And right behind Frank Vogel, you see Nazem Kadri. What a weekend it would be for Toronto sports fans. Maple Leafs winning the lottery last night.
That was tremendous.
In Game 7 here. And the Raptors lead 77-64. George stripped. Carroll on a kick out for Powell. Joseph gives it to DeRozan. DeMar driving on Turner. The reverse. No call. Biyombo stripped, and now a foul is called.
Love the patience, Matt. Raptors digging in defensively. They're getting the ball down the floor. They didn't get something in transition. They worked the ball around, and because of that, when DeMar DeRozan drives in here, look at the positioning Biyombo gets. It's just, that's the way you want to execute in the second half. You don't have to rush anything. You control the game.
(77-64). Biyombo 0-2 from the free throw line, has 7 rebounds.
Right, Matt,
he's got to involve his legs.
Yeah, it just hasn't looked good. He's done a decent job with his free throw. He's improved so much this season. Just needs his legs in the shot right now.
And encouraging the crowd to get into it. A fan favorite, Bismack Biyombo.
There you go.
And you can see why. Raptors have a foul to give. Stuckey. Here's Solomon Hill's been deadly from beyond the arc. Biyombo climbs up and takes it from Turner. 4 seconds. 2 seconds. DeMar DeRozan. 78-64 through 3 quarters. DeRozan with 28 points. The Toronto Raptors are 12 minutes away from their first ever Game 7 victory. Only their second trip to the second round. And also their first ever best of 7 series victory. 12 minutes to go.
Life comes with a turn signal. Use it. If you do, the black red carpet is rolled out for you. It's a 2-lane therapist, guru, Zen master, but you never really know when you're hermetically sealed in a sedan. It's time to get in the spider lane, built for the open road. More stable than a motorcycle, more open to the life around you, and always open for what's ahead. Open your road. Can-Am Spyder.
Lean In Together is about what we can all do
to help the women in our lives.
And men have an important role to play.
When men lean in, everyone wins.
I want to be a great player, but I want to be an even better father.
I lean in at home so Adrian can lean into her work.
We need to stand up for gender equality.
A little support for the women you work with can go a long way.
Let's all lean in together.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in. Are you?
The Raptors led by 6 at halftime. Dominant third quarter. They now lead by 14 heading to the fourth quarter. Tim McCall, Sid Cicero, and Alvin Williams in an ACC that I haven't heard this loud since 2001. It's a cliche. Good teams start and finish quarters, but the Raptors did just that in the third, didn't they?
Definitely. When you come out of the locker room, a lot of times you hear the players and the coaches say, first 5 minutes. The first 5 minutes are the key. And what happens is that sets the tempo. But right here, you see Patrick Patterson's been the recipient of great ball movement. The Raptors been throwing the ball around, passing the ball around efficiently, and he's been on the other end with his feet set, ready to make plays. And then you see DeMar DeRozan finishing where he started, being aggressive, observing the defense, taking what they're giving it to him, and he has a great rhythm, and his confidence is rolling. And his clip out of his gun, he's still shooting. It's unbelievable how many shots he's still taking, but he's doing a great job.
12 minutes to go. The fan base, the franchise, they're so close, they can taste it. How do you bring this home, Alvin?
You got to be ready. You got to, defensively, that's where it is. Offensively, you're going to score points if you keep passing the ball around. But defensively, that's where you got to lay your hat on. You got to defend that pick and roll and make sure Paul George don't get rolling.
All right, for the final 12 minutes of regulation in this series, back downstairs, Leo Rout and Matt Devlin. Boys.
The Toronto Raptors are 12 minutes away. The last time they won a first-round matchup, the only other time they won a first-round matchup, 2001 with Alvin Williams, and the Toronto Raptors lead 78-64. Their defense has been the best of the series thus far.
And they're back to their rebounding ways, Matt. 41-26 overall, 12-2 on the offensive glass. They dominated the glass in the first 3 games.
DeRozan, 11 of the Raptors' final 12. That one Bismack Biyombo free throw in that third.
The Raptors plus 8 points at the free throw line.
Solomon Hill denied by the determined DeRozan.
And this is where you get championship basketball, Matt, when you're digging in, not only scoring, which DeMar DeRozan does so well right now for the Toronto Raptors, but digging in and doing all the little things. DeMar DeRozan with that block, he's got 5 rebounds in the game, couple of assists. He's impacting the game in a variety of ways.
George, quick trigger. In a crowd, Hill gives it to George. George up top. And another opportunity. 14-point lead as we head to the 11-minute mark of Game 7. George Hill, the 3. And it's good. He's been so good from beyond the arc.
And Biyombo's really, really good at switching off, even with smaller players and playing with his feet. Unfortunately, he just stepped back and gave Hill that look.
Hill is now 12 for his last 21 from three-point range. DeRozan on a pull-up. Spills out. Turner with it to Stuckey as the pace has slowed here. Stuckey up top. Stuckey now over Norman Powell. Biyombo with it, and Dwayne Casey telling Corey Joseph to go pick up the pace.
Right, pick up the pace. It doesn't mean you rush, but you want to get the ball down the floor quickly, see what you get, and start moving the basketball. Don't stand around and fall into a rut now.
DeRozan driving, and Turner cuts him off.
So he tried to jump away from Turner and extend, go into him and look for the contact.
Lowry makes his way to the scorer's table.
Turner is too long to try to extend around him. You want to go into him if you can.
And a foul.
No argument from Corey Joseph. Veteran move by Paul George to try to sweep that ball through and draw the foul.
Lowry in. Lowry in. DeRozan out. DeRozan a quick breather here. He's 10 of 31 for 28. Lowry during the regular season, one of the best in the NBA, scoring in the fourth quarter. And foul's going to be charged to Bismack Biyombo.
Well, Matt, one of the great things the Raptors have been doing in this game is with their defense, finishing the possessions, not allowing offensive rebounds. And they've let a couple go in the last few minutes here. You just can't do that. You got to get every missed shot. Make sure you get your hands on the ball.
Patterson in. He's in for Carroll. Carroll 32 minutes.
See, nothing easy for Paul George. If DeMarre Carroll comes out of the game, you get Norm Powell on him. So two great defenders that get into you and play physical basketball.
George has been stuck at 20 for a while, and another foul. And you have to be careful here because you're going to head into the bonus in a hurry with 9:13 remaining here in Game 7. George just 3 points thus far here in the second half.
Well, and that's because of that rotation you have between Carroll and Powell, that you have two excellent defenders that are fundamentally so sound, and they understand everything that they need to do to help, and also everybody's helping out and making sure they take opportunities for George away.
Deflected. Solomon Hill lets it go out of bounds, but there's 0.9 now on the clock. George is 1 of 5 here in the second half. The Toronto Raptors lead 78-67. 8:59 remaining on their home floor in Game 7 of this first round of matchup between the 2nd seed Raptors and the 7th seed Pacers.
Closed captioning brought to you by Canon's Best in Glass sales event. With wireless Canon DSLRs, easily get your best images off your camera and on your compatible smartphone.
Life's great when everything you need is in one place. That's why OK Tire offers full auto service. OK Tire. Service, repair, and tires.
Before we go solving the crime of the century, let's deal with the rotting corpse. Run.
It's my husband. Fred's never been gone this long before.
How long has he been missing?
Since the funeral.
I can start right away. You're in the pool? I had to question the mermaids. What were you doing while I was working?
We're the world's worst detectives.
Got a cool ad, though. I made your head really small because I know you're sensitive about how big it is.
The Nice Guys. In theaters May 20th.
Coors Light asks, what will you brave when the mountains turn blue? Will you brave taking a new run? How about braving a road trip to enemy territory in your team's colors? Will you follow a light leading to who knows where? And for the brave ones, when that can turns blue, it's as ready as you are. Will you brave the cold? Coors Light.
Follow Sportsnet on Twitter.
The NBA playoffs continue on Sportsnet with the Atlanta Hawks at the Cleveland Cavaliers, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, followed by the Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs dominating OKC last night. That's at 9:30 Eastern. Tomorrow on Sportsnet 1 and Sportsnet Now. Let's send it over to Eric Smith.
All right, thank you, Matt. Earlier in the broadcast, we were talking about Corey Joseph, the only player on the Raptors roster with an NBA championship. The man just over my shoulder, Hall of Famer Wayne Embry, Raptors senior advisor, won a championship in 1968 with Boston. I spoke to him before the ballgame about what it takes to win in the playoffs in a championship. He said, Eric, 3 things, and make sure you get it in this order: intelligence, character, and talent. Those are the 3 keys. He said prior to winning the championship in '68 in the Eastern Conference Final, Boston was down 3-1 to Philadelphia, and Embry walked into the locker room in Game 7 of that series and simply wrote 2 words on the whiteboard: pride and determination. Boston won that series in 7 and again went on to win the championship. Guys,
one of the great gifts in the NBA is Wayne Embry, and if you ever have that opportunity to spend time with him, all you do is listen and you learn.
Well, I love opportunities to speak with Wayne Embry. His perspective is absolutely amazing. And, you know, what you heard right there, pride and determination. What have we seen in this game? Pride and determination. The Toronto Raptors came out from the get-go understanding what is on the line right here. And you can see that look on Wayne Embry's face. He understands what this team is capable of, and he just knows all they had to do was come out and play to their level. Nothing else. Play to the level they are capable of.
Lowry up at the rim. Biyombo gets nudged up top. Patterson finds Joseph, who puts it on the floor and drives. No, Biyombo underneath. Lowry with it, now loses it on the floor. And a timeout is taken as Lowry goes crashing to the court. There's only been 3 points scored here in this fourth quarter. There's 8:30 to go. It has gotten that tough here in Game 7, as you would expect.
Absolutely. And who's going to dig in right now? And Biyombo, you know you're going to get this from him. And how about Kyle Lowry getting in there? A lot of contact, but this time to fight.
Whenever I'm around you, I go home a little bit. There's just something about you where the pieces all fit. There's a lightness that surrounds you, and it guides me like a star. Oh, I am who I am because you are who you are.
Anyone could buy a car like a pro with AutoTrader. You just pick the make and model, select the car you want, and contact the seller. Scott's in the slot. Just visit AutoTrader, okay?
Before you hit the trail, you have to put on the right gear. Get into Source for Sports for the proper fit and the Merrill gear to elevate your game. Source for Sports. We know our stuff.
All roads, all friends, all places the road ends, all potholes, mud holes, even the endless supply of bleep holes. All the crazy weather days, and all the weekend getaways. The Subaru Impreza, Canada's most affordable all-wheel drive.
See the last 2 fourth quarters. The Raptors, a franchise record for fewest points allowed in a quarter during the postseason. That was in Game 5, followed by the 30-point performance by the Pacers in Game 6. In fact, in that second half on Friday night, the Pacers outscored the Raptors 61-39. It has been a different story here in Game 7 in the second half. Just 3 points, though, scored thus far here in the fourth, all 3 by Indiana.
Well, you said the difference. Raptors struggling in the second half. They're 32% as a team, but Indiana just 39%. So the Raptors still continue to dig in. They're not relaxing at that end of the floor. All they have to do right now is get back to that ball movement we saw earlier, Matt. Obviously, the defense has picked up, adjustments made by Indiana, but look at that. That's what you get with ball movement.
Mr. Serious from the corner. And just a slight smile from Norman Powell.
Look, how good has he been? You give him the ball, he does not hesitate. He knows. Look at the defense right there at Paul George, the pursuit from behind.
The steal by Powell. 81-67. Powell with 13 off of the bench. Lowry, screen set by Biyombo. Joseph on a kick now to Lowry. The deep 3 doesn't go. And a foul, and it's on Turner. And Biyombo urging the crowd now to get into it.
Well, Biyombo just puts so much pressure on the defense because he's always fighting for that position. He's trying to get inside. And you move the basketball like that. What a pass. On time, on target to Powell for the three.
7:40 left. Raptors lead by 14. Joseph, good. Corey with 8. 83-67, and Frank Vogel with a timeout. This is the Raptors' largest lead. It stands at 16 in Game 7 with 7:31 remaining. Norman Powell, second-round pick. Like he's been here before.
And this guy has. Corey Joseph.
83-67. Game 7, Raptors up.
Thanks for coming today.
How you doing?
Well, today's going to be pretty easy. I want each of you to grab a 2x8 and cut it. You'll have 2 saws to choose from, a power saw or a hand saw. So which saw did you use?
Power saw. Power saw.
Power saw. You all chose the most powerful tool. Wouldn't it make sense to make the same choice when it comes to your truck?
Absolutely.
This is the 2016 Chevy Silverado. It offers the most powerful engine in its class.
Awesome. I'd say it's the best tool for the job. Right on.
Suit up. On May 6th, the movie event of the summer arrives.
What do? We fight.
Captain America Civil War is a triumph in every way. It's remarkable. Everything a blockbuster should be.
You have a metal arm? That is awesome, dude.
Captain America Civil War. Get tickets now.
I may be retired, but I haven't slowed down. So I wear new Skechers Relax Fit Sport footwear for athletic comfort that packs a punch.
Relax Fit Sport footwear for instant comfort, exclusively from Skechers.
Life's great when everything you need is in one place. That's why OK Tire offers full auto service. OK Tire. Service, repair, and tires.
Norman Powell, what a great story. 13 points here in Game 7.
What's great about his game, this is the best part, the defense, the relentless pressure, the physicality that he plays with, but the poise he brings offensively is really special. This young man is 5 of 6 from the field, 3 of 4 from deep. He's got 3 boards, 1 assist, just plays smart, playoff-style basketball. Corey Joseph, he has been a tremendous impact. Larry Bird, he's played a lot of Game 7s. He's played a lot of big games and not comfortable in that environment of red shirts, however, right now.
Powell with a series best performance in Game 7. He's got 13.
How about this number too, Matt? Raptors have 21 assists in this game. They are 24-10 on the season when they get 20 or more assists.
Just 10 for Indiana. Up 16. Monte Ellis, 7 on the clock.
Notice this time Biyombo getting up, not giving Ellis that shot. Good pass, good finish by Mahinmi.
A tough shot for Yada Mahinmi. And the clock is your friend here.
Right now, every person in this building, everybody at home is looking at this clock and saying tick, tick, tick.
Joseph to Biyombo. George comes over to help. Back up top of the clock at 4. Corey fading, and the shot doesn't go, and George reels in the rebound. He's got 9, just 3 points here in the second half. And a foul is called. And it appeared as though George may have exaggerated that. And that's what Dwayne Casey and the fans certainly feel, as George will head to the line.
looked like Powell had his hand in there, but he pulled it away before Paul George went up for the shot. But as you said, Matt, he sold it to the officials.
One of the most important aspects to keeping Paul George at bay is not allowing him to get to the free throw line, as Dan Crawford's taking a look to see if it's a 2 or a 3. And that left foot.
Yeah, well, you know what? It looks like it's not a 3.
Yeah, it's
but
a 2.
You can also see the foul from that angle. He did have his hand. Powell did have his hand on the left wrist of Paul George as he started to go into his shot.
So it's a 2-point attempt, so 2 free throws. The Raptors have kept Paul George off of the free throw line. Game 6, he was 10 of 10. Game 5, 12 of 12. Game 4, 6 of 7. Game 3, 12 of 12. Game 2, 10 of 11. And 5 of 6 in the first game. So he is 3 of 3 tonight from the free throw line, as Jonas Valanciunas, with 3 fouls and his third double-double of this series, re-enters the game.
Well, Matt, on Paul George, the primary defender has been really, really good, whether it's DeMarre Carroll and Norm Powell, just trying to stay in front of him. And anytime he does put the ball on the floor, the Raptors have been giving great help, and that's one of the reasons they haven't had to put him on the free throw line.
Powell up top, George guards him. Swings it over to DeRozan, 5 of the clock. Using the screen, finds Kyle. He's got to catch and shoot. It doesn't go. He is 3 of 11.
But he shot that. He had to take that shot. He didn't hesitate. That's what he's got to do. That's the only way he's going to get out of this.
George now with 24 and 10. His third double-double of the series. 10-point game. Under 6 minutes remaining in Game 7. Lowry up top. Spin dribble. In the lane. Got it! Kyle Lowry delivers a big bucket here. 85-73. So many on their feet here. And understandably so, as George Hill gets to the rim.
And Jonas Valanciunas couldn't step over to help. Mahinmi had him tied up, had his body on him, and that prevented the help.
Lowry back over to Joseph. Under 5 minutes remaining in Game 7. JV comes up, sets a screen. Crowded is Joseph, and a turnover, a rare one. Just the 6th turnover by Toronto in this 10-point game.
And nothing initiated offensively. The Indiana Pacers did a great job of keeping the Raptors near the half court. You've got to get into your offense. You just can't hold the ball and stand around like that. Move.
Solomon Hill finds George. Carroll guards him. Carroll crowding him. Great job by DeMarre Carroll. Second chance and a shot clock violation. A shot clock violation.
Why is DeMarre Carroll here? Why is he here? Because you want to get to that next level, the next series, and DeMarre Carroll is one of the guys that can help you get there with his defense.
The Miami Heat won on their home floor today in Game 7 over the Charlotte Hornets.
Dominating performance.
Corey Joseph, his 7th turnover. Monte Ellis on the inside. And an 8-point game, 4 minutes to go. DeRozan across the timeline, and another turnover. Offensive foul. George gives it right back. His 4th foul. And what a huge swing there.
Well, Raptors getting a little careless with the basketball. DeMar DeRozan losing it, but a big-time effort to get back and get that charge.
Timeout taken. What a defensive battle here. Raptors are 3 minutes and 51 seconds away from going to the second round.
Lean in together is about what we can all do
to help the women in our lives.
And men have an important role to play.
When men lean in, everyone wins.
I want to be a great player, but I want to be an even better father.
I lean in at home so Adrian can lean into her work.
We need to stand up for gender equality.
A little support for the women you work with can go a long way.
Let's all lean in together.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in. Are you?
BMO Raptors basketball on Sportsnet. Brought to you by BMO, proud partner and official bank of the Toronto Raptors.
Raptors have been here before in Game 7s. 88-87 Philadelphia with the win. And then in 2014, Lowry looking to turn the corner. And that last shot of desperation, Pierce bats it away, and the Raptors lose Game 7 on their home floor. 0-2 all-time in Game 7s. Toronto has never won a best-of-7 series. Raptors looking to go to the second round for only the second time in team history. Carroll, JV keeps it alive, hustling for it, and George stumbling, now corrals it. Solomon Hill right to the rim.
Big time move right there, Solomon Hill. Raptors getting flustered right now, Matt. They have to maintain their poise at the offensive end. They can't get into over-dribbling. We talked about that during the course of this game.
8 turnovers for Toronto.
JV's got to catch that. You got to catch that and go up strong.
Carroll gives it underneath, and another turnover. And the Toronto Raptors,
they're unraveling right now, Matt. They got to maintain their poise. Indiana doing a great job at the other end, and Hill, spectacular dunk right here in transition.
12-2 run by Indiana, and 4 turnovers here in the fourth. And turnovers giving Indiana life here. Clock is down. Ellis makes the 3, and it's a game. The Raptors led by 16. It's a 3-point game. Indiana on a 15-2 run. 2:20 left in the fourth. Lowry drives, gets to the rim. 87-82.
High pick and roll. JV stepping up, sprinting into that screen. Kyle Lowry, explosive first step.
Raptors get a stop in a big-time hustle play by DeMar Carroll, playing 34 minutes, and a timeout taken by Dwayne Casey and the Raptors with 1:49 to go. And the Raptors up by 5 in Game 7.
We talk about being decisive with the basketball all game long. You just can't get into situations right now where you're rushing. On the last play for Kyle Lowry, Jonas Valanciunas sprints up the screen, and you see all the space Kyle Lowry had with everybody spaced out to allow him that drive to penetrate. And Jonas Valanciunas, good job of coming over, and DeMar Carroll, good save, a dangerous save, but the Raptors were alert and able to grab the ball.
Tense times here in Toronto.
And you could feel that tension with the players, and this is where they need to just lock in right now, finish strong. Don't take chances with the basketball, and don't over-dribble the ball.
87-82. Carroll has done a masterful job on Paul George. George with 7 points here in the second half. Certainly anxious, understandably so. This is a franchise that has been in this situation before, and they have to come through. And Larry Bird certainly knows all about big moments, big games, and looking on to see if his Pacer team can come from 16 down here and grab Game 7 as a 7 seed. Game 1 of the second round matchup, whether it's Indiana or Toronto, will start on Tuesday night. Raptors lead by 5 with 1:49 to go. Joseph with it. Ellis guards him. JV comes up. Corey swings it back up top to Lowry. Valanciunas runs up, sends that screen. Lowry off balance, shot in and out, and a big rebound for Mahinmi. Quickly ahead now, and George loses it. Paul George loses it out of bounds. And a huge turnover there in a 5-point game with 1:26 to go.
Sure-handed Paul George, and then that shove on DeMarre Carroll. Dangerous play right there.
6 turnover for Indiana in the quarter. Raptors have turned it over 4 times, and a foul on George Hill. They had a foul to give. Raptors 9 turnovers. Indiana 14. Raptors shooting just 39.5%. Now the Pacers have heated up to 47%. Toronto by 5 in Game 7 with 1:15 left. Carroll. Valanciunas battles George with his 12th rebound. Under a minute remaining. Fans on their feet. And a foul on DeRozan. The clock stops at 52.4. And George steps to the line.
Indiana really working hard defensively, Matt. They've done a great job down the stretch here. A tough shot by DeMarre Carroll. Jonas Valanciunas tried to get his hands on it. All he could do was tap it.
Five of 5 is George. It's a 4-point game. 52.4 left. Raptors led by 16. The Raptors led 83-67 after 7:31 to mark. They have scored 4 points since then. It's been a 17-4 run. Raptors just 2 for their last 11. Lowry up top. Lowry looking for redemption. DeRozan fires a 3 and it doesn't go. Loose ball taken by Hill. And a timeout taken by Frank Vogel in Indiana in a 1-possession game with 26.9 left here in the 4th of Game 7.
All right, Raptors offense just laboring down the stretch right here. Indiana's defense has really picked it up. They did an outstanding job here down the stretch. Almost a turnover right there. DeMar DeRozan saves it, tries to get it up.
And the timeout taken by Indiana. Raptors led 83-67. Doesn't matter how you get there. The Raptors and their fan base just want to get there. And there's 26.9 seconds left. And it'll feel like 21 years. The look, the gaze, the stares tell you everything. (2001), the only time that the Raptors have advanced to the second round, and right now they lead by 3. Biyombo on the floor. 87-84. George with the ball up top. DeRozan with it. DeMar DeRozan with the basketball. DeRozan now dribbles, gives it up, gets it back, and he's fouled. 6.5 seconds remain in Game 7.
Paul George, a couple of turnovers down the stretch, Matty. Here a big one, tried to throw it up, just not a good pass, not good time to do it. Turning the corner, great job of turning the corner on Carroll, but
the presence of Biyombo changed everything. And DeMar to the line. And this arena will tell you everything. DeRozan, 7 years in this league. Drafted out of USC after his freshman year. Lost a Game 7 on his home floor in 2014 to Brooklyn. And last year, his dreams and hopes swept away. The Toronto Raptors have responded tonight. 6.5 seconds left. They lead by 5. And DeMar DeRozan, that young man right there, with 30 points. Raptors up in Game 7.
It begins by picking up their first ball. It begins with their first dribble, their first coach, their first shot. It begins by growing in commitment, determination, and passion. It begins with learning the game and loving the game. Come play with the NBA. Register your child at juniornba.ca.
We go back to Game 5, May 4th, 2001. As the Toronto Raptors, there's Alvin Williams, our own Alvin Williams here.
Always made big shots.
Making a big shot there, and the biggest right there. And the Toronto Raptors advance to the second round for the first time in franchise history, and he knows all about how this feels, this moment. And there's Alvin getting ready for the post-game show with Tim and Sid.
One thing I always remember about
greatest Raptors of all time.
It didn't matter how he shot during the course of the game. At the end of the game, he was money.
The Raptors up 5 with 6.5 to go. A 2-possession game. George, shot doesn't go. Biyombo to Lowry. The Raptors do it. The Raptors take Game 7. 89-84. It took 7 in the 6, but it was worth it.
DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry. We talked about it, Matt, exercising the demons that have haunted them and this team. Finally, going to the second round.
for the first time since 2001. And for the first time ever, the Toronto Raptors take a best-of-7 series. How fitting in a season of so many firsts and bests. The Raptors will move on to the second round to face the Miami Heat.
And Matt, I said this months ago, this first round was such an enormous hurdle for these guys. Even the way this game closed, you could feel it. I'm expecting something dramatically different in that second round. Now that this weight has been lifted, I can't wait to see how they are going to react and play against the Miami Heat.
DeRozan with 30. Lowry 11. And nothing feels more